Hey guys, welcome to another solo sortie. Today's sortie is rescue, and the condition is enemy elemental or enemy physical enhancement. That's what it is. So for this sortie, I'm going to be using Wukong. This is just a standard Defy build. These arcanes were for the last sortie, which was radiation hazard. So you'd probably want to switch them out for, say, arcane energize, or maybe I don't know, something that helps your guns. Whatever arcanes you have, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so you mainly just want 100 adrenaline and rage, and then as much health as you can get, and then as much efficiency as you can get. The reason I have duration on here too is because this prevents your duration from going negative from fleeting expertise. And if you have negative duration, then that also affects the efficiency of your defy, and it can go above that 25%, which we want to get it down, reduced down to. So yeah, so anyways, that's not too much to say about that. I'm going to use the Zarr for this too. I have a corrosive build because it's armor, so we want to be able to strip the armor. Vigilante armaments would do more damage than prime fast hands, but I like being able to reload, and I kind of just use this for trash mobs. The weapon I'll be using for the wardens is the Detron. I do have this multi-shot, Riven for it, but if you don't have that Riven, then you could just put on Lethal Torrent or Reload Speed if you wanted to. But you really don't need this. The main thing you need is the 4 elemental mods so you get to 100% status. And for those of you who don't know, 100% status on a shotgun is important because instead of having each pellet add up to a total of whatever percent it is, so say it has 8 pellets and you're at 90%, if all 8 pellets hits, it's a 90% chance of getting 1 proc. But if you're at 100% status, each pellet has 100% status, or chance of proccing the status, so you would get 8 status procs at 100%. Versus 1 at 99.9%. So that's why you want to hit that 100%. Yeah, and then just take your strongest melee. I'm not going to use this, to be honest. Here's the build if you want to see it. And this is what I used to make the Zarr. But yeah. So anyways, let's get on into it. So I learned some interesting things about Wukong and also about rescue when doing this video. The first interesting about Wukong's Defy is that you get less energy restored with each Defy. Like each time Defy is used to save your life, you get less health back. But if you want to reset that, you can just turn on and off Defy again and waste a small amount of energy to reset it back to what it was at. So I'll get my energy going with Energizing Dash before I start. It's nice to get into a habit of doing that before any mission. So yeah, if you find that so since you get less health back each time, then you're gonna have less health for rage and 100 adrenaline. So it kind of like is this kind of scaling effect that makes your efficiency go down slightly each time you actually die. So just resetting it every once in a while will help you stay alive more often and help your energy stay up. But yeah, and then so the interesting thing I learned about rescue is that this is how you get specters. And there's different tiers of spy missions, which affects how good your specter is. And then there's also a different number of points you can get. So the first point is for, there's 3 points you can get total. One of the points is for saving the rescue target, so if you pass the mission, you'll get that point for sure. The second point is for not triggering that time limit. So in a sortie, this is impossible because it just automatically triggers that time limit. Like, there's nothing you can do to prevent that from happening. And in other spy missions, in other rescue missions, if you're sneaky and you don't get seen, then that timer won't start. But in this, in a sortie, it'll start no matter what, so you can't get that point. And then the last point is just for killing all the wardens. So the max we can get here is 2 points, and so that should be able to get us a 4th Spectre. I'm not going to give him my weapon because I'm going to use it to kill the wardens. So just to show you that I should get a 4 Spectre for this, unless this doesn't count as like the highest tier mission, then it might be a slightly worse reward. But anyways, so I'm going to use the Detron for killing the wardens. The reason I'm doing this is because it has so many corrosive procs, I'm going to kill their armor really fast and just has pretty good damage. And then I'll switch back to the Zarr to clear out the mobs. I don't really need to clear out the mobs. I could just kind of keep like reviving my homie all the time, but this might just make it easier. I don't know. Well, here's another warden, so I'm gonna kill him real quick. Put the Detron back out. So yeah, you can see how good that is for dealing with armored enemies, because it just gets so many corrosive procs. You can see 8 corrosive procs or maybe 10 corrosive procs every time. I'm not really sure how many pellets come out each shot. And so corrosive, when it procs, it only reduces their armor by 25%. So in theory, it should never get down to 0 armor, but there is rounding. So because of that rounding, it can get down to 0 armor. And when that happens, their health bar will show red. So like, yeah, you can see now his health bar is red, so we got all his armor in like 3 or 4 shots. So there, you saw that 4,000 thing popped up that said killed all wardens. So now we can head off to the next room. So one of the only ways you can lose this mission is if you get locked out in a different room than the hostage. So you kind of got to watch out for that. He should teleport to you if you get far enough away. So yeah, see there, he teleported to me. But sometimes he won't. So that's the main thing you need to watch out for, is if your guy you're rescuing is getting low and you're also on like the first stage of like being noticed. So like all the terminals will be white instead of green, or instead of just like not showing up at all. But yeah, so it looks like the oh I thought it went down. Try to kill out or CC the enemies as my guy runs through so they don't kill him. If they do, it's not a huge deal though. Oh, fuck. Okay, he's in the same room as me, thank goodness. So yeah, see how the whatchamacallit got triggered, lockdown got triggered. That's like one of the only ways you can lose, is if lockdown gets triggered when you're in a different room. On the weapon stolen. I don't really know why I'm going back to this. I should just run to the end of the mission, but okay. Do you teleport to me? Yes. Okay, sweet. Yeah, and the nice thing about using the Zarr with Wukong is you just don't have to worry about self-damaging, so you can just fire bullets point blank into your face. But yeah, so I guess that was a little longer than it needed to be. It kind of stuck around and killed enemies more than I had to. But I didn't get the Spectres because I guess on sorties you don't really get typical mission rewards. Like survival sortie, you don't get the relics that drop. Rescue sorties, you don't get the Spectres either. But for a normal rescue mission, you'd want to try to be sneaky, rescue the target, and kill all the wardens, and then you'll get better Spectres. But anyways, thanks for watching, and have a good day.